Hello and welcome to the White House. Exciting. You can be excited, yes. I know when young people come, it's always like, can I clap? Can I laugh? Can I? Yes. Yes, you can. You can breathe. It is such a pleasure to be here today to celebrate the winners of this year's National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Awards. I want to start by thanking all the members of the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities who are here with us today, especially our co-chairs Margot Lyons and George Stevens, who accompanied me in. And finally, I want to thank all the teachers, all the administrators, the directors, the artists who keep these programs going and who keep them running each and every day. We're just very grateful to everything that you all have been doing, because I know that these are tough times for a lot of folks. Budgets are being squeezed, resources are being cut, and for many of you, the hours are longer, and unfortunately, the paychecks are smaller than they used to be. But against all the odds, you've kept going. You've kept teaching and mentoring and innovating because you know, like all of us know, that these programs, programs like yours, can help our young people expand their imaginations and tap into their creativity. You've seen how the arts and humanities can broaden their horizons and help them discover a talent or mission or sense of purpose that they never knew they had. And that's exactly what's happening in Hartford, Connecticut, where students are doing workshops with world-class jazz musicians and artists. In Tampa, middle school girls are creating original shows based on their own stories and performing them in front of their friends and family. In San Francisco, students are developing their own voices alongside professional writers. And right here in Washington, D.C., kids from low-income neighborhoods are using debate and hands-on activities to learn about some of the history's great leaders. These are experiences that will stick with our young people for the rest of their lives. But the real beauty is that you're doing more than just teaching these young people how to become better artists or better musicians. You're also connecting them with mentors and college counselors. You're helping them become better people, and you're giving them skills that will help make their futures that much brighter. When a student writes a play, she's not just learning how to put lines on a page. She's boosting her language skills, becoming a better public speaker, gaining a sense of pride in her ability to set a goal and to reach it. When students are paired up with mentors, it's about more than just keeping their grades up or strengthening their college applications. It's about connecting them with someone who's been where they've been, who's willing to take a genuine interest in their future, and who can show them what it takes to succeed in the studio, in the classroom, and in life. And when a group of young people comes together to put on a show or create a piece of artwork, it's not just about getting recognition for the work they've created. It's about learning what it means to share a gift with others and give back to the people who've made a difference in their own lives. And that's why earlier this year, I was so proud to join some of last year's recipients of this award to help paint a mural and plant a garden at a community center right here in DC. And I know that many of you are also reaching out in that same way, donating artwork, tutoring in public schools, and holding concerts for your neighborhoods. Community Music Works in Providence, Rhode Island even pipes the sound from their rehearsals and string quartet performances out onto the sidewalk, filling the streets with classical music as kids walk to school each day. In the end, that's really what all this work is about. It is about helping our young people grow and inspiring them to give back. It's about taking an interest in them and challenging them to dream a little bigger and reach a little higher. That's what Roseanne Cadis did, along with Juliet Myers. She co-founded FACT, after-school programs in New Mexico, to introduce children and teens to the power of art. When FACT first started, it was run out of the back of a station wagon, but that didn't matter. As Roseanne said, it wasn't, these are her words, it wasn't just about the result, making art. It was, did it bring you joy? Did you learn something? Did you master a skill? And together they're bringing so much joy to so many. You're showing our students that each of them has something valuable to contribute to this life. And you're opening their eyes to a world of possibility that awaits them. One work of art, one relationship, one lifetime at a time. So thank you for everything that you are all doing. We are just incredibly proud, incredibly honored to have you all here. And I promise we will do our part, everything we can do, the President's Committee, to support the work that you are doing and continue to make sure that this can happen all the time, everywhere, all over the country. We're very proud of you all. And with that, I'd like to introduce to you the co-chair of the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities, my dear friend and partner in crime in many ways, Margot Lyon. Come on up, Margot, and thank you.
Well, thank you, Michelle, First Lady. And I just have to say, we have to give this woman an incredible round of applause. She is such an inspiration. On behalf of my co-chair, George Stevens Jr., and our vice chair, Mary Schmidt-Campbell, and all of the members of the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities, we are so delighted and grateful to you for opening the White House to us today and hosting us and our awardees for this very important ceremony where we bestow the nation's highest honors to these remarkable groups and projects for the arts and humanities, the after-school programs. This year, we have 15 honorees chosen from hundreds of nominations that are changing the lives of young people across America. Their programs, engaging a diverse population of students, excite the imagination, encourage collaboration, teach the value of discipline, and finally, help students achieve real, measurable academic success. Today's honorees also provide safe and creative havens for children during some of their most vulnerable hours, after school, weekends, and evenings. And because there are no borders when it comes to the power of the arts and humanities to enrich and transform a young person's life, we are especially happy today to honor this year's International Spotlight Award-winning music program, the Jean-Baptiste Dessay, I hope I pronounced that right, Music School from Haiti. Let me take a moment now to thank our key partners, the National Endowment for the Arts, the National Endowment for the Humanities, the Institute of Museum and Library Sciences, all of our private supporters, and our longtime cooperative partner, the National Assembly of States Arts Agencies. Without all of you, these awards today would not be possible. So thank you so much. Now, I'm sure that many of you here have noticed and remarked to each other that our Arts and Humanities Awards this year have a new name. For the last 12 years, they were known as the Coming Up Taller Awards and were the gold standard of achievement in the field. When the President's Committee had the privilege of taking over its stewardship, we thought that even venerable programs like this one might benefit from a little retooling after more than a decade. So over the past year, in collaboration with the White House and our agency partners, we've taken a good look at what's working best and how we could make that program even better. We also polled the last 12 years of awardees and finalists to get their thoughts on the subject. And what we came up with were some rather simple but fundamental changes that we think will enhance the award. Our new name, the National Arts and Humanities Youth Programs Award, is one that we feel accurately reflects the substance of the award, as well as its national prestige. We have our very first dedicated website, which will feature profiles of honorees, regular updates, and of course, a blog, as well as information about federal funding programs, toolkits, and recent research in arts education. And finally, we have built up the annual awardee conference, introducing winners to new federal funders, expanded communication training, and social network models that will strengthen their organizations as a whole. It's important to note here that our support, the President's Committee's support, does not end with today's ceremony. Over the next year, we will make ourselves available to visit our awardees in their local communities, to attend events celebrating the award, and aid them in connecting with new participants and supporters. With all that you do for our young people, we want to make sure that you have the very best support and recognition possible to help you all reach your goals. Finally, in closing, I want to mention that in our poll of the past awardees, of all the benefits of receiving this award, the financial grant, the national press, the summer conference, the one thing that kept coming up that was consistently cited as the most life-changing by both the program directors and the kids who came here with them was the opportunity to be here in this building, in the White House, with the First Lady of the United States and all of their peers. So, Mrs. Obama, thank you so much again for making this day special for them and for all of us. We are so grateful. And with that, I am delighted to invite to the stage Mariana Pavon Sanchez, a young participant. Where are you? A young participant from one of this year's winning programs, the Young Playwrights Theater, and as a theater producer, I'm particularly happy about that, right here in Washington, D.C.
Hello, my name is Mariana Pavon Sanchez, and I'm a 11th grade student with Young Playwrights Theater, or YPT. Just over a year ago, I began studying with YPT as part of my English as a second language class. YPT helped me know that I can express myself through writing and that what I have to say matters. I wasn't sure I could do it at first, but then I realized I could write a play about my own life. So I wrote a play called Mariana's Wish. It is about my mother and how much I miss her. The YPT teaching artist helped me find my inspiration, shape my ideas on the page, and revise my play until it was exactly what I wanted to say. I was so excited when my play was chosen to be produced in YPT New Play Festival. Seeing my play performed by professional actors was an amazing experience. But seeing and hearing the audience reactions to my story was even better. They laugh and cry, and I realized the power of my words. My advice to other students, don't be afraid to express yourself through writing, even if it's something small, it is important. I was a very shy student, afraid to speak out, and here I am. addressing the First Lady of the United States, and it's all thanks to Young Playwrights Theater, to the arts and the humanities, and the power of my own ideas. Now, I would like to read you the beginning of my play, Mariana's Wish. It is about missing my mother in another country and my father who won't let me go to see her. I start the play from my point of view, angry, because I don't understand why he won't let me go. But then I also wrote from his point of view, he's just worried about me. At the end of the play, we understand each other and he lets me go. This is the beginning. I came to this country last year. First, I wanted to come to learn English. My mommy didn't come with me because her visa expired in 2007, and she and my grandfather are both sick, so she can travel. Now, I want to go back to Nicaragua to visit because I miss my mommy. I miss talking to her every night. I want to taste her bao that she cooks really well. We used to go outside to El Mirador de Catarina, where we spend hours walking and talking. We talk about boys. She also gave me advice about how I have to act with them. Another thing that I miss is when we talk about what I want to do for my future. I want to do those things with mi mami again. I want to spend Christmas with mi mami, mi hermano, mi familia, and mis amigos. They are the most important people in my life. I have asked my dad 3 times before if I can go to Nicaragua, but he doesn't really take me seriously. So this morning, before he leaves for work, I will talk to him and he will have to listen. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of the 2010 National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Awards.
Madam First Lady, thank you for the inspiring model you provided America. A National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award is presented to Project Alerta in Boston, Massachusetts. Launched by University of Massachusetts Boston in 1988, Project Alerta engages 3rd through 5th grade Latino and ESL students in year-round project-based activities in the arts and the humanities. During the 2009 summer program alone, 77% of Alerta students increased their reading scores on practice state standardized tests. The next award goes to the Scripps College Academy in Claremont, California. Scripps College Readiness Summer Program introduces 45 high-achieving high school students from underserved communities in the Los Angeles area to text, research, and writing assignments in the humanities. 100% of the program participants are accepted into college, and over 90% are their first in their families to do so. The after-school program, Mentors of Minorities in Education, Inc., in Washington, D.C., receives the next National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award. Through its Great Person series, the MOMIE program strengthens core academic areas for low-income children of color in pre-K through elementary school. 100% of its participants advanced to the next grade level in the 2008 and 2009 school years.
Libraries, museums, zoos, and gardens are all featured in the next award to the Brooklyn Cultural Adventures Program, Heart of Brooklyn Cultural Institutions in Brooklyn, New York. Each year, 500 children ages 7 to 12 engage in hands-on, thematically linked and fun experiences provided by a consortium of cultural institutions: the Botanical Garden, Children's Museum, Public Library, Prospect Park, and Zoo. The activities boost cognitive and relational skills outcomes, particularly in children from underserved neighborhoods. The next National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award goes to San Francisco Writers Corps, the Friends and Foundation of the San Francisco Public Library, San Francisco Arts Commission. For 15 years, professional writers have worked with young people in libraries, after-school programs, immigrant immersion centers, and juvenile hall facilities to develop language arts proficiency and encourage individual voices. 90% of the participants show measurable improvement in basic and advanced literacy skills. Youth Can, the Wing Luke Asian Museum in Seattle, Washington, receives the next award. At this community-focused museum, Youth Can empowers Asian Pacific American teens to explore their heritage and creativity by developing museum programs for their peers. Having built skills in public speaking, management, and design over the course of the program, 100% of the participants have gone on to college.
The next National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award goes to the Center for Community Arts Partnerships, Community Schools Initiative, Columbia College, Chicago. Since 1998, CCAP has been a national model for college community school partnerships, working deeply in 6 schools throughout the city to provide intensive after-school visual and performing arts programs that also include academic enrichment, social services, and parent engagement. The River's Edge Arts Project in Woonsocket, Rhode Island is presented with the next award. Engaging at-risk teens in artistic expression, self-discipline, and community service, River's Edge employs artist mentors that teach skills and guide youth participants who also earn stipends for their artwork. 100% of participating youth graduate high school and are accepted at colleges and art schools. Urban Voices Global Action Project in New York, New York receives the next National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award. Directly reaching over 100 youth ages 14 through 21, participants create videos, web-based projects, and multimedia projects on subjects relevant to their lives. The Urban Voices curriculum is nationally recognized for its best practices in youth development, media arts training, and civic engagement.
I'm pleased to present the next National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award to FACT after-school programs that the First Lady mentioned in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Throughout northern New Mexico, the FACT program reaches 650 underserved youth ages 5 to 21 at low-income public elementary schools, the Santa Fe Indian School, and youth detention and homeless centers. FACT's high-quality visual arts programs encourage critical and creative thinking, improve literacy, and build self-confidence. The next award goes to New Directions Youth Art, City of Las Vegas, Office of Cultural Affairs. Since 2008, 271 adjudicated and at-risk youth have completed a program of performing and visual arts with professional artists, developing artistic talents and learning team building. Nearly all have shown demonstrable positive behavioral development as a result of this program. It's a pleasure to present the next award to the after-school playwriting program, Young Playwrights Theater, Inc., in Washington, D.C. For 15 years, this program has provided theater workshops to primarily Latino and African American students, teaching them to express themselves through the art of playwriting. By the end of the program, 85% of the students demonstrated a much stronger level of language skills and reading comprehension.
To the Community Music Works, Providence, Rhode Island, Senator Reed. This program, the Providence String Quartet, provides music education, mentoring, and public performance to its community. The quartet rehearses in neighborhood storefront studio and frequently broadcasts its rehearsals out onto the streets for passers-by, particularly children who attend the schools on both ends of the street. More than 100 children have participated free of charge for up to 10 years in the educational program, and all have enrolled in college. The Girl Stories Theater Project and workshops, Power Stories Theater, Inc. in Tampa, Florida. Beginning with a 6-week summer workshop, this year-round program empowers middle school girls to prepare original theater pieces featuring their own stories. In a recent evaluation, 97% of the participants improved their communication and performance skills. The last award is presented to Transforming the Lives of At-Risk Youth, Training in the Arts and Culture of the African Diaspora, Artists Collective, Inc., Hartford, Connecticut. It also won the prize for the longest name of any institute. Founded by NEA Jazz master saxophonist Jackie McLean, the Artists Collective has provided year-round classes in dance, music, drama, visual arts, and martial arts. For the last 40 years, to more than 100 students, 95% of the participating students go on to attend college and art and music schools.
Good morning. I'm Mary Schmidt-Campbell, Vice Chair of the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities. I'm honored to present our International Spotlight Award. I'd like to invite our distinguished guest, Louis Harold Joseph, Haitian Ambassador to the United States, to join in the presentation of this award. This year's earthquake in Haiti completely devastated many of the country's most important cultural landmarks and institutions. Thanks to the expertise of our colleagues at the Smithsonian Institution and with support from the President's Committee, the Haitian Cultural Recovery Project was able to work in support of the government of Haiti to salvage and secure important cultural artifacts buried in the rubble and badly damaged. During the summer, members of the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities joined a delegation to Port-au-Prince, led by our colleagues at the Smithsonian. What was clear to all of us on that trip was that even amidst the devastation, the vitality of Haiti's cultural heritage was very much alive. On the streets of Port-au-Prince, we saw evidence of the work of artisans and musicians who continue traditions that have become vital to world culture. We witnessed the resilience of a youth orchestra that rehearsed beautifully while overlooking the debris and rubble that surrounded them. First Lady Proval hosted a group of young dancers who, despite having to live in tented camps that served as temporary homes after the earthquake left them homeless, treated us to a spirited performance. They, the young people, with all of their resilience and energy, with all of their talents and gifts, represent the promise and future of Haiti. And so, in honor of these talented youth, the future of Haiti, we are pleased to present the International Spotlight Award to the Jean-Baptiste Dessay Music School based in Jacmel, Haiti. Established in 1998, the Jean-Baptiste Dessay Music School provides instruments, rehearsal space, and instruction in a variety of string, wind, brass, and percussion instruments to hundreds of youth in and around Jacmel. Students at the school, most from poor families, have the opportunity to participate in various marching bands and orchestras, a big band, and a choir. Although the school's building and instruments were damaged by the earthquake in January, the resilient faculty resumed string lessons and band rehearsals in February. And by the end of August, the school completed a successful, intensive summer camp session, which included volunteer teachers from the United States, France, and Canada. We commend you on these heroic efforts and congratulate you on the National Arts and Humanities Youth Program International Spotlight Award.
In the last year or so, on this stage, the Obamas have had Paul McCartney, Audra McDonald, Joshua Bell, Stevie Wonder. Today, we welcome one of this year's award-winning groups. Welcome the members of the Artists Collective Youth Jazz Orchestra with Dig by Jackie McLean.
proud of you. We're so proud of all of you. Thank you for the work that you have done. Just keep it going. We are behind you. We're going to keep it going. So with that, you all have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll see you next year.